Receiving CAA football special teams player of the week honors was North Carolina A&T junior Elijah Kennedy. Kennedy became the first North Carolina A&T player to return a punt and a kickoff for a touchdown in the same game as the Aggies rallied past Campbell 28-24. His program record timed 96-yard punt return for a touchdown tied the game at 21-21 with 6:12 to go. And then his 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown with 1:29 left was the game winner. Kennedy finished with 228 all-purpose yards in the game. And finally, receiving CAA football rookie of the week honors was Maine freshman running back Shawn Marshall. Marshall rushed for 141 yards and a touchdown on just 15 carries in Maine's 35-14 victory over Elon. It was the second straight game with 140 more yards on the ground for Marshall, who sealed the win with a 61-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter. He also had 2 catches in the game for 18 yards. So those are our CAA football weekly award winners for week 9. And now as we turn our attention to week 10, as usual for media members on the line, if you have questions for the coaches here this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon. And we begin this morning, as we always do, with the head coach at North Carolina A&T, Shawn Gibbs. Good morning, Coach Gibbs.
Good morning, Rob.
Good morning. Quite an afternoon as your team rallies from 21-7 down in the fourth quarter to beat Campbell 28-24. Just another example of the fight your team continues to show. What pleased you most about the way your team won that game?
Well, we've been fighting all year. The difference was Saturday we were able to find a way to win the game, and we had a player that stepped up and had a special performance. What Elijah Kennedy was able to do, really propelled us to the victory. So thankful to all the guys. I think the coaches did a good job of keeping the guys engaged. I think we had a good game plan. Hats off to Campbell as well. They played a good game, but, we were able to make some plays at the end that ultimately were the difference.
As you've gone back and looked at the tape on those 2 returns, what did you see on those plays? Obviously, a great individual effort, but there's a lot of guys in front of them that had to help make that happen. And then what makes Elijah just such a good returner and a receiver for you?
Yeah, well, it was a collective effort, but honestly, on both of those plays, it was mainly Elijah. The punt return, it's 2 things. Number one, we were in safe. So we had our defense out there. We didn't have a return unit on the field, and he caught the ball inside the 10, which is a no-no. But sometimes you got to overcome coaching. He was able to just make some plays. But once people realized that he had the ball in his hands, we were able to make some crucial blocks on the punt return and get them into the end zone. And then the kickoff return was really just an example of we knew they have an excellent kickoff guy that was injured, and most of the season he's been kicking the ball out the back of the end zone. So with him being down, we knew we were going to have an opportunity to return some, and we got close a little earlier in the game. And then, we just made some adjustments on our unit, and EK was able to find the sweet spot and hit it and make the kicker miss and put it in the end zone. Two special plays by him.
Here with North Carolina A&T head coach Shawn Gibbs. If you have a question for him this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon. When you get a win like that in such dramatic fashion, how much does that help for the whole culture and program changing that you're trying to build there?
Tremendously, because you tell the kids to keep fighting, and they've been fighting. But now this is just an example of what fighting can get for you, and the things that the fight that we have can make happen. So now it's just about playing better, and that's what we have to do. We got a tremendous amount of improvement to make, and we got to clean up a lot of stuff offensively, defensively, in the kicking game and our coaching. So we got a lot of work to do, but it's just good to get another victory in the CAA, something that hasn't happened around here before this year. So it's something to build on. But in no way are we comfortable. We understand that Towson's going to come in here on Saturday and look for a fight, so we got to be ready.
Let's talk a little bit about your defense. The number that jumped out to me, that you hold Campbell to 63 yards on the ground. That's been an area they've excelled quite a bit this year. What were you able to do so well?
We were just able to get back to playing, our brand of defense. We call our defense Blue Death. And that was the first time we really played Blue Death defense all year. guys in the right spots. We had some good gap integrity. We had guys defeating blocks, destroying blocks, and some guys folding in and making some plays when they were able to crease us and keep them from hitting some explosive. So that's the type of rush defense that we want to play. That's our brand. And it was good to see us able to have some success against a team that wants to run the football. So, that was good all the way around.
In the passing game, they got their quarterback back along with their top receiver, Randall King. And Randall and Aaron Harris were locked in a battle all day long. And while King had some catches, no big plays on you, and Aaron, 7 tackles. He had 4 pass breakups, including the pass breakup on that last drive that kind of sealed the win. Talk about his day and just the matchup between those two guys.
Yeah, that's 2 really good players. Number 0 he's a grown man. He's a big, strong kid, strong hands, good route runner, makes some tough contested catches. And, we knew we were going to have a battle if he played, and he did. And Aaron showed up, and it was back and forth. And, at the end of the game, Aaron was able to make a play that was able to seal the victory for us. So, Campbell has some really good players. Number 0 and number 1 are as good as anybody in the conference. And anytime you can somewhat contain them, you got to be happy with yourself.
And then you were also able to get to the quarterback some. Marquise Hood with a couple of sacks in there. Tim Alderman had one. What were you able to do to, just talk about those guys being able to put some pressure on the quarterback?
Yeah, well, a couple of them that was a good job by Coach Jones and Coach Corden scheming it up and getting some guys free. And then the other ones is just those guys being football players. That's what Hood and Tim Alderman are. They're good football players and they want to be good. They want to make plays, and they were able to get after the quarterback and have some success on Saturday. So now it's just about building on that and trying to get ready for a good Towson team on Saturday.
One more just from the offensive side on Saturday, had kind of struggled offensively through about 3 quarters, but kind of lost in all the big plays that Elijah made. Was that 86-yard drive you were able to put together there finally in the 4th quarter to get within 7. Kevin hit the big pass to Javon Dillard and finishes it with the run. What went well on that drive to kind of get you going?
Well, we really executed on that drive. We were able to hit JD on a big run, and then to cap it off, on a little zone read, Kevin was able to pull it and outrun people to the pylon. So it just shows what we're capable of doing when we can get everybody on the same page and we can operate efficiently. We got enough playmakers. We just got to be consistent, give our quarterback enough time to throw the ball and get the ball to our playmakers, and then making those crucial plays. I think all year we've made plays in crucial situations. We just got to make them consistently. We can't wait until we must have it to make them. We got to be able to make those plays consistently throughout the game. And when we show enough growth in that area, I think we'll be a lot better.
And Wes Graves with another solid game too, gave you 73 yards on the ground to kind of balance out some of the passing attack. Is the running game's still a bit of a work in progress for you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We're not running the ball at the clip that I would want to. I'm an old school coach, and I'd like to be averaging 170 to 200 yards a game on the ground. I know that's ambitious, but that's where I want to be, just so we can control the clock and keep our defense off the field and keep their offense off the field. We're getting better though, but we just have to keep working, making sure we're getting a hat on a hat, and our running backs have to do their part as well. We got to break some more tackles. We got to be our own blocker in more cases, and then when we do get a crease, when we do get some seams, we got to exploit it. But we're getting better, and I'm proud of the way that the guys compete. I think Wesley competes his butt off every week, so I'm happy and proud of him.
As you said, Towson coming to Truist Stadium on Saturday. A team that is 3-5, but has played some of the top teams in the country right to the wire. As you've started to dive into them a little bit, what are some of the challenges that they present?
Well-coached team. Coach Shinnick has a lot of history in the state of North Carolina, so I've known about him for a while. They're a big team, a physical team, and like you said, they've played some great competition. So we're gonna have our hands full. We know they're gonna come in here ready to fight on Saturday, but we'll be up for it.
You talked about the receiving of Randall King and some of the receivers Campbell had. Towson certainly has some veteran guys that will catch your attention on the film. What's going to be the challenge to try to maybe slow that offense down a little bit?
I'll tell you what, in this conference, it gets no easier. Every week it's a challenge. It's kind of the same thing. Defensively, we got to make sure we don't let anything get behind us. We got to keep the ball in front of us. We know that they have good receivers, veteran receivers. So, we got to get them on the ground when they do catch it. We can't allow any explosive plays. We got to try to get some pressure on the quarterback and keep him from being comfortable, get him off his spot, and then we'll give ourselves a chance. But the main thing will be the same in every week for us, and that's not allowing them to run the football on us, and then just keeping the ball in front of us.
All right, Coach. Congratulations on that win. Thanks for your time.